Hello everyone, welcome back to the Traxion YouTube channel. Welcome to Spa for this iRacing Touring Car Challenge track guide. Now, the touring cars and Spa, it's actually a really difficult combination. There's quite a lot of places here where we're in third gear, right on the limit of wheel spin and understeer, so you've got to be really, really patient. Now, if you've followed my track guides before, you'll know that they are not a place for hot laps. It's a slow, methodical approach where we learn the circuit, talk about my braking markers, my reference points, and the little quirks that each circuit has. So a slight change for this track guide because the track is so long. I'm going to show you the flying lap in full, then we'll jump in the car, do one lap, slow time, and talk about my braking markers, reference points. Then at the end, I'll play you the flying lap again, but I'll talk you through it with a bit of a voiceover. Then at the end, we'll talk about pit entry, pit exit, and where I think we can overtake here at Spa. So enough talking, let's get on track. So here we are then on the start finish straight here at Spa. So as usual, we've set the sim time to match the official series. So it's the 21st of May 2022 and the time in the sim is 2:25 p.m. We're also using the iRacing sprint setup, which is what is used in the official series. Track temperature right now is 43 degrees Celsius, exactly the same as it was in the flying lap that you've just seen. Brake bias, we've gone for 43.8%. There's not that many places here at Spa where we're really, really hard on the brakes, so 43.8% seems to work well for me. So turn number one, probably one of the most important turns on the circuit because on warm tyres, you're flat out from turn one all the way up to turn 5. Whatever speed you gain from here, you're going to carry all the way up to turn number 5. So braking here, you can see there's a dirty patch on the road surface there. We'll wait until after that, then we're going to start braking. We're going to be going all the way down to first gear for this one, and we're going to be turning in. There's another dirty patch there, you can see. That's pretty much where we're going to be turning in. We're going to be nice and tight to the inside curb, and then we're going to be accelerating through up to second gear, using all of this on exit. Don't go too far over because you will get off track. And then it's flat out from this point forward all the way up to sixth gear. Now, for going up the hill, so we're going to be approaching it on the right hand side, and we're going to be cutting this curb through turn number 2. We're going to be in 5th gear at this point, and as soon as we get to the end of the curb, or just before we get to the end of the curb, we're going to initiate our right turn to go through turn number 3. And then we're going to be kissing the curb on the right hand side. Now, it's really important here not to scrub off too much speed with too much steering lock. You want to try and keep your steering to a minimum through here and through Blanchimont towards the end of the lap. So, kiss the curb on the right hand side and then open up your steering to go around turn number 4 and across the curb, turn number 4. And then it's flat out. So at this point we'll be in 5th gear. Don't change into 6th gear until you see the rev limiter. That's it. Don't change. It's about 214 kilometers an hour. Don't change up to 6th if you're in the Hyundai Elantra. Now we're going to be braking here for turn number 5 just at the start of the curb, and we're going to be using the curb, moving our left tyres over onto the curb, 3rd gear, and then we're going to brake a little bit more than you normally would here because we need to sacrifice a little bit of speed through turn number 5 because we want track position for turn number 7. So nice and steady through there. Then we're going to cut this curb on the inside. If you don't, there's a horrible little bump just to the right hand side of the curb. Still 3rd gear. Move the car over to the left. And then here we're not lifting completely, but we're just feathering the throttle. Cut this curb on the right and let the car run all the way out wide on the gas. Then up to 4th gear. The run down to turn number 8. We're going to be braking just at the start of the curb, and what I like to do, I like to aim for an early apex, 2nd gear, and hug a tight line all the way around. A little bit of trail braking if you need to, then get on the gas. The car will run out wide, then straight back over to the right hand side, and as soon as we touch these curbs, we're just trail braking a tiny bit and starting to turn in, and we want to cut this curb here and then get on the gas at the apex because there's a long straight down to turn number 10. Then up to 4th gear, up to 5th gear, and then halfway down this curb on the right hand side you can see these tyre marks just going across. As soon as you kind of enter those tyre marks, we're going to be braking, get the car nice and settled, down to 4th gear, turning in, turn number 10. Be patient, off the gas until you're at this point, and then you can get on the gas completely. Keep turning left, car will run out wide, but keep turning left and get it back to that 2nd apex. Then up to 5th gear, back over to the left hand side, and we're going to be braking just at this Allianz bridge or just before the curb, and we're going to be braking down to 3rd gear, trail braking all the way around, nice tight line all the way around here because similar story, we need track position, we need to move the car over to the right to get round this left-hander, and then we're going to be cutting a bit of curb on this left-hander here, and then accelerate through, use a bit of this runoff on exit, up to 4th. And then here, again, another really important turn because whatever speed you carry from here, you're going to be carrying all the way up to turn number 18, the final chicane. So you can get on the gas here just before the apex. So we're going to be braking, we're going to be turning in. You can cut this one a little bit. And then get on the gas, 3rd gear. Use all of this on exit. This is flat out, up to 4th. On cold tyres on your first lap, you might have to just lift a little bit there, the same through Eau Rouge, you might have to just lift a little bit. Then it's going to be 6th gear. Through Blanchimont, turn number 17. So on the right hand side, pick a turning point just after that dirt on the road surface there. And it's flat out around there, no problems. Now for the final chicane, we're going to be braking. You'll see the white line across the road surface, then there's dirt on the road there. So just as we enter that dirty patch, we're going to be hard on the brakes. Car over to the left hand side to open up the first part of the chicane. Apex it really late because you want the car as far over to the right as you can. A little bit of gas, then back off and then accelerate through the turn. A short shift to 2nd helps. Stop wheel spin, and there we go. So that's the slow lap of Spa. Let's have a look at the flying lap again and I'll talk you through it step by step. Right, here we are then, starting a new lap. So we're going to be all the way over to the left hand side. We're going to be looking for that dirty patch on the road surface. There it is. So after that, we're going to be braking all the way down to first gear, turning in at the next dirty patch, accelerate through the turn, and then we're flat out from this point all the way up to turn number 5. Approaching turns 2 and 3, we're going to be on the right hand side. We're going to be cutting the curb on the left hand side, and at the end of the curb we're going to be turning right, hitting this curb, then across the next. Try and keep the steering inputs to a minimum there. Being patient here, waiting until we redline, then up to 6th. Move the car over to the left hand side. We're going to be braking at the curb on the left and using the curb, putting our left tyres all the way on the curb and sacrificing a little bit of speed through this first part, across this curb, nice and patient, across the second, get the car over to the left, then we're just feathering the throttle through here, then on the gas, pushing out wide, use all the curb on the exit, braking here, down to second gear at the start of the curb, nice and tight all the way around, and then accelerate through, the car will push out wide, then we need the car back over to the right, as soon as we touch the curb, we're almost back off and powering through this one, cutting that curb, and go down the hill. We're looking for the tyre mark, so it's halfway down the curb, and then we're going to be braking down to 4th gear, nice and patient, waiting, then on the gas, and then we can cut it back for the second apex, up to 5th gear, then move the car over to the left, so just before the curb on the left hand side, we're going to be braking down to 3rd gear, nice tight line, being patient because we need to open up this left, and we're going to cut this curb slightly and then get on the gas, power through, use all of that on the exit to 4th, and he's really important on the brakes and get on the gas before the apex. Use all of this on the exit up to 4th. On cold tyres you might have to lift around here a little bit. And moving across the left hand side now, and then turning in flat out. Again, nice minimal steering inputs. So just after the bridge you'll see a dirty part on the road surface. We're going to be braking hard on the brakes, open up the right as much as you can, and accelerate, then off, and then accelerate through up to 2nd gear, and that's a lap. So pit entry isn't too bad at Spa. It's just the first left turn you need to be concerned about. It's really tight, really easy to hit the wall. So we approach the final chicane as normal. We're going to open up as much as we can, late apex. But instead of turning left there, we're going to just go forward to the right hand side of this green painted area, and it's the wall on the left hand side here that we need to worry about. Then accelerate through. Pit speed's 80 kilometers an hour here, so it's not too bad. 80 kilometers an hour before the yellow cone. Pit exit, nothing really to worry about here apart from the wall as you go around the right turn. So release the pit limiter at the green cone, just lift, be careful that you don't go out of the white lines, and there's the blue cone. At this point we can move over if we wish. There's a nice big long run down the hill there, so if anybody's coming up to lap you, keep an eye on your relative, let them by and try and tuck in behind them as you go up the straight. Right, overtaking, where we're going to do it. So overtaking then, where we're going to make it happen, well, it's going to be a bit of a draft fest here, so you're going to have to choose your moments wisely. Now you will see people going for the move down into turn number 1, but if I think I'm quicker than somebody, then I'll probably wait until after turn number 1 and get them along the long straight going into turn number 5. But if there's a bit of a train and you can overtake one, then slot in behind another, get their draft, fine, do it. But if you don't overtake somebody into turn number 1, they're just going to overtake you into turn number 5. So people will defend. We're going to assume as usual that people will defend. That's fine, let them. We'll just take our normal line. And all we're thinking about here is the exit. Get a really good exit. Putting ourselves in a position where we can overtake them going along from turn number 4 to turn number 5. So sit behind them down here, nice and tight. Try and give yourself a little bit of breathing room just before you go up the hill, just so you can see the apex. When you can, just get on the gas, get right behind them as close as you can on the exit. Then hopefully you'll get the overtake done before turn number 5. If you don't get the overtake done before turn number 5, well, I would much rather be on the outside for turn number 5. Yes, we're going to be on the outside at turn number 7, but you have a much better chance of making the overtake because turn number 6, I don't like being on the outside there. So people will defend going down into turn number 5. That's fine. That's fine. No problem. We'll just hold an outside line around turn number 5. And we might be able to get the overtake done here because their line round turn number 7 is going to be compromised hugely. We've got a nice wide arc around turn number 7. This is where we're going to overtake them. And then we can adopt a defensive line going down into turn number 8. If somebody defends here going into turn 8, then we ain't going to overtake them. There's no way we're going to hold an outside line around here. So try and slot in behind them, try and put them under a bit of pressure. Hopefully they'll defend here. Then we're just going to take our normal line. Get a really good exit through here. No, hopefully overtake them into turn number 10. If they defend here, well, we're going to make them defend. We're going to sit behind them for as long as we can. Then we're going to move across, then adopt our normal line. They're probably going to push really wide at the midpoint of this section here. They're going to be over here because they've defended. Well, we're hopefully going to be here and we can just slot back in underneath them going into turn number 12. This is very similar to turn 5, 6 and 7. I would much rather be here at this point overtaking than on the inside, because if we hold an outside line around here, then there's a really good chance that we'll get the overtake done here. If not, then we're too wide going down through 14 and 15. Yes, you can hold an outside line around here, but it's really easy to get tapped onto the grass there, onto the sand. So yeah, do that at your peril. Up into Blanchimont, you will get the heroes that are going to overtake into turn 17. I wouldn't advise it, to be honest. I would much rather, you know, if you are going to be too wide, I would much rather be on the inside going through 16 and 17. I would probably wait at this point and then try and overtake them going into the final chicane. They will defend here. Fine. Again, I would much rather have the left-hand side going into this section here. Brake a little bit later because we're taking a wider line. And then if we're on the inside here, then there's a really good chance that we've got the overtake done. So that would be my advice. Don't overtake them into turn 1 unless you've got draft from a car in front. Get them between 4 and 5. If you're going into turn number 5, if they defend, then I would much rather have the left-hand side either overtake them going around turn number 6 or on the exit of turn number 7. Again, you're just going to have to play it by ear going through 12 and 13. See how that pans out, because you might be able to get an overtake done there, but if you don't, then it's going to be a little bit sketchy going too wide through 14, 15, and especially 16 and 17. But it's going to be just overtake where you can. If there's draft and an opportunity opens up, then you've got to take it. So there we go. That's Spa done. Please let us know down below in the comments how you get on. What were your times before the guide and what were your times after? Did I help? Did I cover everything that you wanted to be covered in a track guide? Personally, I'm not really happy with the time that I set there. I think I can go quicker, but I'm just going to need a little bit more practice. As always, thanks for watching. Good luck. Keep it pinned.